And here we go. It is Monday, May 17th. My name is Dee Corchin and thrilled to be with you guys for our Monday night team time. Love coming together with every one of our coaches who makes this a priority on their schedule. We are in this together. And if you're new to our team, we want to welcome you to this call. And just we usually start with some inspiration as everybody is signing in, but I don't know about you guys. I have been on fire since the All In conference this past weekend, the coaching summit. And we're going to have a couple people share in a little while with us. But if you attended on Saturday, if you were all in, if there is a quote that stuck out with you or something that really you can't stop thinking about it, drop it in the chat right now. Let's have it blow up. I want to see what's bouncing around in your heads right now. Kristen Dowd's letter. Yep. What else? Yeah, somebody asked if we could watch Kristen's letter, and it was too long to do on this. But if you were a registered member, you should have gotten an email with all the recordings so you can watch it again. And even if you didn't participate, let's say after this call and hearing all this and seeing this, you're like, whoa, I've got FOMO, I missed out. My understanding is you can still purchase a ticket and have access to all of the recordings. Very good. One of the things that really stuck out for me was there was a session that was done. It was Doug and Tia Wood and Dan and Megan Valentine together. And they reminded and they said, when we use the words like, if this happens, or I'm going to try, that the words if and try leave room for failure. And it is declaring what we will do or what we will be. And I think so often, I know I've heard myself say it, or I've heard others say, well, you've probably heard a client say, well, I'll try. But as soon as we use the try word, we're leaving that back door or the back window open. So there's some good stuff showing up in here. So excellent. We will come back, you guys, to this topic a little bit during the call. But I just, again, all of you guys that invested your time in this, I know that we got a lot out of it on Saturday, and, definitely go back, watch some of the other videos, and we will, I think we're going to be using this going forward. We're going to use some of it and purpose it to definitely put into action. And wanted to remind you, if you're not registered for a convention yet, you still can. This is kind of like the pre-game before the big game. But with convention, that's July 29th to August 1st. And you can get on a waiting list to go in person. And we have people very, very recently that are saying, hey, I just got approved, I can get in. So would love to have you be a part of that with us. And then once a month, we do a client call in our Eat, Live, and Be Healthy group. And we call it our Healthy Hangout. And it's this Thursday, it's May 20th. And it's at 8 p.m. And we're going to do the topic of exercise and the plan, because we know that topic comes up all the time, and no better person to be teaching it. We've got a lot of fitness professionals, but Vicki Feldman is going to teach it. She is a lifelong fitness instructor, Orange Theory instructor. I see her there, and she's going to be leading that call with her team. So encourage you this week. Today's Monday, in your calls with your team, with your clients this week, personally remind them about that. Let's get them on the Zoom. If we can, we will live stream, but I did have trouble with the live stream into the coach group before. So as many as we can get in the group, that would be awesome. But before we move on to talking about kind of a summary and a breakdown of some of the big things from the summit, I wanted to continue to take time, because we've been getting a lot of value from taking our time and going through the habits of transformational leadership. And we've talked about before that all of us are leaders, right? You're leading yourself, you're leading clients, you're potentially leading coaches. So we are all leaders in some way. And some of the ones that we've gone through already are the one that we lead from the future and we act in the now. We take responsibility, we play above the line. That was Connie last week. We've talked about we awaken potential and we transform masterfully. And we had a little change in schedule this week from what I sent the announcement on, but I am really happy that, and I'm hoping she is on, Karen Moran is going to share with us on the principle of we connect authentically, we cultivate trust. And what that means, it's described, is that we inspire and equip you to live optimal days through a philosophy and proven system grounded in trust and what works. So Karen, are you on with us? Karen from New Jersey.
I am. Hi.
Hey, hi. Take it away.
Sure. So I'm just coming from softball practice, which is, I'm looking lovely, but you know, we're all friends here. So, when this is so key to me. So when I was thinking about coaching, the most important thing to me was that I didn't want to have to fake it. I didn't want to have to fake something or be that person who's trying to inauthentically sell you something. And that's the wonderful thing about this is we all have the same gift to offer everyone, but there are so many coaches and we can all offer that in the way that is most authentic to us, right? Like we are the right coach for a lot of people, but not the right coach for everyone. I am not the right coach for your clients, and your clients, you know, you're not the right coach for my clients, but the people that need us will find us if we put ourselves out there authentically. And I hate to keep using that word, but it really does explain all of that. And so for me personally, my real driver and my passion and all the things is that this program is a total game changer for women with PCOS. It really is. I don't want to say all women, but for all of the women that I know, including myself, this program has been a full life-changing experience. And it's really just, I just got a text message from another one of my friends with PCOS who finally took the step. She kept doing a whole bunch of things that weren't working. And the first week, she feels amazing. Yes, she lost 10 pounds, but she feels amazing. And feeling amazing with PCOS is a really hard thing. Now, do all of my clients have PCOS? No, right? I have a lot of friends, I have a lot of people, but the way that I approach the coaching is I'm going to talk about what's important to me, how this is changing my life, what I love the most about it, and the people who want that thing, the people who are going to be drawn to me, that, okay, great. And those are the people that I'm going to be able to coach the best as well, right? Like, I mean, I haven't been coaching that long. I've been coaching since last August. But now as I moved into executive director, I ended up with a lot of clients. And we all know there's sometimes you'll get a client where you're just like, we don't click. And that client for me came through someone else who honestly should be a coach themselves, right? That person would be better coached by the person that recommended them to me. And I think that's this whole thing here is we know that the coaching opportunity is not just about that person finding freedom in their life, but being able to be the best person to help the other people in their life. So, you know, I don't know. I didn't really prepare all of this. I'm just kind of speaking from the heart and telling you, what is your thing? You know, if you ever get to a point where you're struggling, what is your thing? What is your coaching why? What if somebody really said, you know, yes, you are a health coach, but what's the thing that really gets you going and gets you up? And that's the story that you're telling when someone thinks about you as a health coach. So that's my North Star. When I'm, you know, sometimes I think, I don't know if I'm the only one, but sometimes I'm like, I'm giving it all up. I can't do it anymore, right? And I come back and I go, no, this is the thing. This is the thing. You know, I'm going to keep doing this thing because that's the thing that I have to give to the world. So there you go.
I love that, Karen. And I love like you kind of described, we have all been to it, like up to the eyeballs, right? Like, I don't know, because you go through the hard part or the hard season, but then you remember there's probably one more life I could help. One more life I could help transform. What is your best way, Karen, that you connect with people? Because it is a matter of trust. And I think what you've shared is so important, that it is our story that's going to impact others, whether you have a weight loss story or not. Because for whatever reason, you made a decision to come to Optivia to serve and help other people. So we all bring something to it. But what's your best way that you reach out and connect with people?
Yeah, sure. So a big part of the trust is listening, is really truly listening to what they're saying. Because I think a lot of people will expect us to try to sell them something, because that's what they're used to. They're used to being sold something. And so the listening part, when I just, I start every call with, what's going on? What's going on with you? Why are we talking today? I don't, and they're like, oh, well, I mean, here's what, and that's the thing. It's the, what are we sharing and caring, not selling and telling, but it's the listening that creates that not immediate trust, but it starts creating that trust of, I'm not here to sell you something. I'm here to connect you with the thing that's going to create lifelong transformation in your life. So.
Yeah, you said that so well. And I think, especially as newer coaches, but I think even as experienced coaches, there's a difference, right? So we ask a question, and the health assessment is our guide, but I love how you just kind of break it down. That's exactly what I do. Like, all right, tell me what's going on. Like, why did you want to have this call today? Or tell me where you are with your health and where do you want to be? But then, like you said, actually taking that opportunity to listen and really listen to understand. You guys, like, listen to understand, listen for their pain point, and how does that affect you? Like, how does that affect you in day-to-day life? What does that feel like? How would life be different if this was no longer an issue? What would you be doing? But I think so often we ask those questions and we're already listening, like thinking of our response, right? Already we're like, oh, like, I hope she's okay with the feelings, like we're already like, already like 10 steps ahead of where we need to be in a given moment. So that's such a good reminder of that. And just know also, like, your story will continue to evolve over time. I still share my story, and every time I share my story, it's 10 years later, but I'm in a different place, different part of it, et cetera. And somebody will reach out because of what I shared. But again, remember, when you do your health assessment, you're listening to understand their pain, and your section of the health assessment is like less than a minute, right? Your story is less than a minute. So very good. Well, thank you, Karen, for stepping in and doing this for us tonight. And next week we will be talking about obstacles, and the obstacle is the way. So that's always a good one, right? Often the obstacle is us. That was one of the things I heard from Saturday, where I think it was Summer Moran's, and she said, if I am the obstacle, then I am also the way. So that was really good. So again, I thought it would be fun tonight to have a few of our coaches with different experience levels and different places in their business share how investing their time and resources into the All In Summit. What was their big takeaway, aha, and then more importantly, as JC Dornick said, sometimes information is an obstacle to progress, right? It's all about action. So wanted to first start with one of our newer coaches, Monica. I know I saw you on the line, Monica, coaching just for a few months, your absolute first exposure to one of our national calls. And could you just unmute, Monica, and let us hear from you?
Yeah, my name is Monica. Thanks for letting me say something. It was my first event, and it was really amazing. And some of the takeaways, besides just really feeling the energy of a group of people that genuinely want to make a difference on the health of America. And as somebody who works in healthcare currently, that was just like something that was so satisfying, to be inspired to go out and make a difference, and to, like, when they go low, we go high, and to just day and learn from a group of people that are set in the growth mindset. And some of the things that I took away that were really helpful on a practical level too were just hearing to schedule for where I want to go. And so it's like keeping in mind, like, what would an ED schedule look like? And so in my week, hearing how some people have a day that they schedule follow-ups, a day that they schedule health assessments. And so even just hearing like little scheduling principles was really helpful. And also hearing how the follow-ups and just the relationships are so important, and how even the health assessment is their first experience with coaching. And so to really like take that seriously, and like was just said, to really just listen, and like from that first point of contact. So nothing but good stuff. It's great. Thank you.
Thank you, Monica. And, Monica, you just want to maybe share what brought you to Optivia, because you really came more from a business perspective and a real heart and passion for helping other people. You didn't have a weight loss story. You did go on the program, but you wanted to share what brought you to that. And it sounds like that was reinforced from this.
Yeah, it was. And I'd love to, because I work in home health, and I've been working in home health as an occupational therapist for about 7 years. And I've been in healthcare about 12. And so much of what I see is due to chronic and also preventable diseases, especially diabetes. And I have too many stories, like heartbreaking stories related to diabetes. And I reached a point where I was just like, I am on the wrong side of the river. And if there's a way that I can help people before they have trauma, like losing a toe or a foot or their other foot, I want to be part of that solution. And so when I was introduced to Optivia, it was like, oh my gosh, like, are you kidding me? This is like a community that actually can surround themselves around health before people have, whatever have to happen. So that's kind of how I got here, and super grateful to be here.
Awesome. Awesome. And we had met last week, and you had shared with me, despite that passion, I hope it's okay if I share, but you had started to hit a little bit of the fears that we all hit. Some of the voices start talking in our head and whatnot. So when you watch this and you saw the lives impacted and people sharing, how did that kind of reshake the snow globe for you?
Well, I think it just confirmed how doable it is, but also that authenticity is the way. Like, I'm not a salesperson, but I also understand, there's a certain way to just relate to people, to help them find what they're looking for. And what I sense from the people who've really had success in Optivia is they're people of service. They're authentic people. They want to help people. And also that there are just like practical solutions to the things that I've kind of overwhelmed myself with mentally, like just myself. And that there's just little things I can do to not be overwhelmed, and to also go slow, that it's like just progress, not perfection.
There it is. Yeah, there it is. And that's why and thank you for sharing with us tonight. I think as a newer coach, or when you have coaches join your team, why we encourage so much to invite them to larger events. Of course, we've got the weekly trainings and field training and all that, but sometimes the events can be the game changer. It certainly was for me. I was coaching for about 4 months, didn't even really want to go to convention, and went, and man, like, I just got it. And it was mostly about the lives change, not what I could get out of it, but wow, like, we are making this huge, huge difference in other people's lives. So, well, very good. Wanted to move over. We're going to head over to Wendy Wardlaw. So Wendy, I know that several things in it impacted you. Thank you for sharing on our page. And would you just share with us kind of where you are and what you plan to do with what you learned?
Sure, I'd love to. Before All In, I was kind of in a not very good spot. I've been doing some therapy and learning some things about myself that frankly have shaken my confidence. And I was letting fear rule me and just kind of shutting down and not doing the daily business building exercises. So being around all these positive people with such fantastic mindsets just really blew me away. Kristen's letter, of course, had me sobbing, as I think most of us were. There's some pieces of her story that I could really relate to. And if she can do this, all of us can do this. I mean, just wow, she was amazing. Another thing that I've heard all this before, but fall in love with yourself, fall in love with this program that we have, and put yourself out there and share it in your very real way. I'd forgotten that. So I'm looking forward to doing that. And one other shift that I don't remember who said it. It might have been Leslie again. I'm a habits of health coach, not a 5-in-1 coach. And I've been a 5-in-1 coach. So that just really hit home with me. Some action steps, other than what I said. I like what Dr. A said about journaling twice a day, about what you're grateful for and just what you think about things. I've already started doing that. Be courageous and push through the fear. We all have fear. You said that too, Dee. Do the things anyway, even when you don't feel like it, just do it. And a last action step for me is I got more weight to lose. Just commit and lose the weight. Stop 5-in-1-ishing around and just do it. Because when people see that I can do that, they will follow. So that's what I loved.
That is so good. And thanks for your transparency, your honesty. I mean, we all have our struggles. We all have just the stuff, but I think even just being able to be in that state of like, that's huge to be able to like, just look at ourselves and go, you know what? I need to work on, I will work on that because there, it's going to help me and it's also going to help somebody else. And you said something critical and it just triggered me to remind you guys to say something else. I think maybe it was Leslie Begin. I think what you said, she was talking about the delays that we've had in shipping. And she said, the worst thing to do is to place the order and say, well, or maybe it was Corey Baker, but all right, your order will be in 2 or 3 weeks. Just let me know when it gets here. Because if that's what we're doing, then we are making this about the food. That basically I can't help you until you have a box of food in front of you. And that is exactly what you said, Wendy, a 5-in-1 coach. So, that there are things we can do. We have put them in our Facebook group and about things we can start coaching them on, small changes they can start making. We can download the Habits of Health, the life book from thehabitsofhealth.com. They can, but I wanted to let you know that I think they're going to be speaking on this topic, some on the 8 p.m. call, but the 8:30 call is all about navigating the shipping challenges and what to do with your clients, your new clients and your existing clients during that period of time, or if they're running out. So 8:30 tonight, we definitely don't want to miss it. Okay, we are going to move on up to Maine, and Michelle Levy, if you'll take some time, I know that you have been actively growing your business and excited to hear what you have to share with us tonight.
Thanks, Dee. I have to say that, and I just want to be really transparent. I think I texted Dee the morning of this event saying, just like, kind of pray for me. I was like out there and really feeling discouraged. In April, I missed a goal of reaching FIBIC by just a couple of clients, and that started kind of derailing me a little bit. And then I started with the comparison trap of comparing what I'm doing social media wise and what other people are doing, and just really losing my confidence. And even though I'm getting clients and other things are happening, my confidence was just really tanking. And so this couldn't have come at a better time for me personally. And honestly, I could have just done the opening and then gone away and just like, chewed on that for a while, because I was like, wow, were they listening to my talk? Were they in on the text? It was a little freaky, actually, you know what I mean? To see and hear like what they were talking about and how directly it was impacting exactly the way where I was in my thinking and trying to move my business forward and helping my clients and my coaches. And so some of the things that really touched me and that I took away from here was, first of all, Dee, you were just on it. It really was amazing. And that I am enough. Each one of us right here you are enough. And that we're each unique. And we heard this being spoken about by Karen a little bit about, who we're going to attract is unique to us, and that we should just embrace who we are, embrace our stories, what life experiences we've had, because that's, we've got all this stuff in our arsenal to help other people with, and because honestly, the way, I don't know with your clients, but with my clients, it's more than just the food, guys. It's life. And how can we relate to them? And how can we help them through some of that stuff? So that was huge for me. Um, the other thing was, with Kristen, of course, the letter was amazing, right? But that my obstacle will become my superpower. And I really was like, wow, okay, it's like my weaknesses will become my strengths, right? What I'm weak in right now, a year from now, I'm going to be rocking the house with whatever it is I'm struggling with right now. If I just don't give up, if I just work on me, if I just am coachable, if I just am honest with myself, right, and do the work on me. And that leads me into the next thing is that, the personal growth and development piece. When we were at the leaders retreat in Atlanta, Dee and Larry put us in front of some amazing people. And so I am going to be doing a group coaching with my husband and a bunch of other people. So that's like the first step, like really working on the personal development part. What do I really need to work on? And so that I can grow bigger, so I can help more people, because that's what it's really all about. And one of the last things was that really touched my heart. Well, a couple of things was, do I know my why, like my coaching why? Like I know my story why I got on the program, but what's my coaching why? And then I started writing out, what are the coaches that I have on board? What's their why? And I started drawing blanks, and I was really convicted. Like I was like, wow, do I even really know my coaches? Do I know why they're here? Do I know why they want to coach? And that's something I definitely need to change, is going deeper with them and really getting to know them on that level, because it does evolve. And so as I evolve and they evolve, really revisiting that, and just being whatever I can be to help my coaches reach their potential, right, and helping our clients reach their potential as well. So some of the action steps I'm taking away from that, from Dr. A and Kristen, revisiting my morning routine, getting up earlier, making sure I have that really quiet time, journaling, and we're really working on my own personal development, and putting that into intense, immediate movement and sending it out there. So that's all I got, Dee.
Oh, that was perfect. That was perfect. And I think you nailed it when you talked about, I mean, when you hear us sharing things, the one thing I've learned is about sharing from my heart, right? Because I know that I am not alone in my struggles or feelings of, unworthiness or imposter syndrome or whatever it is. And so I think just being okay with that ourselves and realize it's not really anything to be ashamed of, and it is the entrepreneur roller coaster. It is a season, and that's why we need community. That's why we need to be on these calls. That's why we need to attend events, because we need that shot of motivation. We need that energy. We need that reminder, or maybe even something just said in a little bit different way. But 100%, whenever we feel stuck in our business, it is usually a sign of a need for personal growth. Dan Bell says, motivation and mindset, there's probably something going on up here that needs to shift. And you're exactly right. I mean, how simple was it? I mentioned it when I shared that, we have these goals, we have these dreams, and then when it doesn't meet our expectations, we slow down. We can even give up, instead of realizing like, okay, it didn't meet my time frame. What was missing? What do I need to do? And you nailed it when you said, I didn't really know what my coaches wanted. Because if we're just trying to help them achieve a rank so we can achieve a rank, well, we've missed it, because it's what it is and what it means. And I was convicted of that early on, had an opportunity early in my career to have a small group session with Dan Bell, and he was breaking down a global director's business, and each coach, he said, well, what does this one want? What does this one want? And the global couldn't answer. and it was like, whoa, like we don't know what our people want. How can we fight for them? How can we contend for them when they get discouraged and want to give up, et cetera? So that's a huge, huge takeaway. So thank you, you guys. Golly, this half hour flew by. Thank you for investing your time. Thank you to Karen, to Monica, to Wendy, and to Michelle for sharing their hearts with us and being so transparent. And let's go ahead and roll over to Dr. A's call and the field training and Dan Bell at 9. Thanks so much, you guys. Bye.